everyone? Welcome back to the Console Gaming League. I am Joker's Ransom. He is Shadow Fang, and we are here with a console open tier matchup versus Dosed&CO versus Archeon Esports. I'm super excited to see one of these early matchups of week 1 of CGL season number 12.
Yeah, and it's on a patch day, no less, so there's really no telling what can happen here because so many heroes got various tiny tweaks and twists around here, and there's honestly just no telling what is the strongest thing to play right now. And we're looking at the open tier, which is the highest level you can play. And I happen to know, based on team sheets that were submitted, one of these teams likes to play Brawl, which is pretty simple and straightforward to play no matter what has happened with patches.
Yeah, I mean, we can see Brawl. It is probably still going to be those Winston-based compositions that we've been seeing for a while now until things really get evened out. We might be seeing a swap with the Winston over to the Diva just because of what we've seen with the patch notes, with Diva getting the buffs that we saw from them. But other than that, things are sticking around. Lifeweaver did get a nice update as well, with the Tree of Life, bringing overhealth now. So we might be getting into that aspect of where Lifeweaver might not be a troll throw pick.
Yeah, it could very much be possible. I expect to honestly, like you said, teams might just resort right back to the Winston Sombra Tracer sort of dive with like an Ana and Margita. They could still go that route because even what did Brick get? A slight nerf to her shield, not like anything huge. Slight nerf to her shield, and rally takes a little bit longer to charge. The Ana one could be more substantial. They knocked her back down to 70 per shot instead of 75. So that could be a little bit more substantial, but Anti is still just such a powerful ability, and it can just turn fights very easily.
Well, let's take a look at the rosters here from both of these two teams. As Dosed&CO, as Dazareru, that is the person who wants to go by Void. Young Tegi on the DPS line, Chun-Li on tank, and then Mila and Soft Jumper rounding out the support line. And interesting enough, obviously we see from Mila right there that she likes to run Mercy, and another hero that has kind of changed up a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, recently, and with the secondary fire damage boost being reduced from 30 to 25%.
Yes, that is true. And as I mentioned earlier, Dawson Company, they love to play their brawl comps, so we could be seeing that. But over to Archeon Esports, we've got Equinox Silent running that tank, Mighty Camper, and Zaku on that DPS line, along with Sparkle and Tough Duke on the support.
Yeah, and Archeon has been around for a while now. I've known this name for quite a long time, and it's good to see them continuing to play in the console scene, which is always ever in flux with teams and esports organizations trying to be in it. As we do have our map pool for this evening. Sorry, why am I saying afternoon? I mean, it is afternoon, but it's more definitely night or evening, if you want to call it that. We have got Busan, Eichenwald, Dorado, and Esperanza. If you're feeling spicy, we get to that. All right, to map number 4 there. Eichenwald, however, is a late addition to the game, or into the map pool there, as we were supposed to be playing Midtown, but Midtown is currently out of the rotation, is not playable in custom games. So we'll be seeing the German map today, but we're starting out on Busan here, Shadow, and that's where we set our story, set our grounds for this first, for the night we're going to see from these two teams.
And yeah, like you said, I really expect to see either a Winston or Diva based dive composition around that Ana and Brigitte. And if we don't see that, then I expect Dost and company to run out on a straight up Reinhardt composition.
There are no secrets.
So it's looking like they're gonna go with that Winston comp to start off with, but with a Mercy and a Kiriko if this is not trolling.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I think
Mhm.
Kiriko also did get some changes as well. It did, and it did kind of get a nerf to that healing to protection Suzu specifically. But they did get a somewhat of a damage, net nothing with the kunai. Damage did get increased, but the critical damage multiplier did get reduced. So I'm interested to see how Kiriko works out in this new patch, but they're going to come in to this engagement. The hack does come up onto Equinox, and they're super low. They've got to stay alive. Healing is a necessity to keep your Ramatra in the fray of things. As now the Dost does come around, but it's Archeon setting things up. They're gonna get this first capture percentage to start off. The Maywall separating them now here as Zaku looking for some shots with the Cassidy. The rotations do come through though. They're still waiting it out, but Mila goes down early on, and that should be the first wave of fighting going into the favor of Archeon, as long as they do not lose anyone else here. As the shots come through, the hack is there, but still the damage is there, and they're buying more time. And if they can get there it's the translator out. The sound barrier is invested. They're just going to try to wrap things up fully. The pummel's coming through. Chun-Li's back to spawn. That should be all they need in the end for Archeon Esports.
That was an insanely fast sound barrier built from the side of Archeon, and really just turned the whole fight on its head there. It looked like Dost was going to potentially invest like a Kitsune rush to finish that fight off, but couldn't quite make it.
Well, Equinox is super low. We're gonna have to get out the Ravenous Vortex, saving their life for the time being. This Chun-Li could not get into the face of Equinox, and now they rotate back, and well, they've got some things to work with. Chun-Li's got this Primal Rage available, but with Void going down already, this is just not looking good. They might not even need any ultimates to invest in this. The Translocator no longer available for Soft Jumper. They're trying to stay alive. They're trying to get away, but it's still Archeon holding strong.
That's a really good stagger kill for Equinox onto Soft Jumper. But look at here, we're looking at 5 ults against 4 ultimates, and I think Archeon's ults are a little bit better and are going to be able to take down this dive composition when they try and get in.
Well, it's
I
up.
think the Blizzard's going to be big time.
It's gotta be. Well, they've got to do something here for Dosed&CO. Zaku's already taken Chun-Li out. The ultimate's now coming out from both of these two teams. The ultimate fiesta coming alive, but it seems currently in the same favor of Archeon Esports. Is that Nemesis, the oh my goodness, the Ramatra
Annihilation.
ultimate. That's what
Annihilation.
that's called.
There you go.
The Annihilation coming in, cleaning house, and they start things off with a clean 100-0.
Yeah, so basically, Dost could never find a way into any of those fights. The Winston never really had much of an opening to dive anybody from the side of Archeon, because you have a Mei and a Cassidy you're trying to jump into, as well as the Ramatra. It's really hard. You have to pick your spots very, like, poignantly if you're going to be the Winston. So I actually like them swapping onto this Junker Queen comp more, because it gives them more opportunity to try and do something against this composition that Archeon is running.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if this change to the Junker Queen works in their favor. It's not traditionally what you see from a counter to Ramatra, but we shall see if it works out in their favor. That damage that you can output with Junker Queen is massive, and well, we've seen it already. The Carnage coming in early on from Chun-Li, and that's going to help take out Equinox. And Chun-Li is now has all the go sign to clean things up as well. No, they don't need to, as Dost is just going to take point 1 quite quickly.
That was a smart retreat by Archon. They got the hinder onto Chun Li, which pretty much saved their entire team. As long as Zaku and Mighty Camper are consistently doing that to Chun Li, Chun Li's gonna have a hard time to really dominating this round.
Yeah, now they have this rotation coming in from Archeon Esports here as they're looking, as Archeon looking to get into this thick of things in this drum room, but they've already, Archeon's already lost Equinox here in this fight, and that's just disastrous. Now they have to rotate out of the, rotate back, and they now have, maybe not. Sorry, I lost track of things, and well, Void did go down. The Coalescence are going to be invested here from Taggy here, and takes Tough Duke out.
Ajax,
He did Ajax the beat in the middle of that all, as Dost is still going to hold on to this fight.
Oh, and look at Soft Jumper just finishing off all of those kills. Chun Li has a rampage coming into this next fight. If Chun Li just has to force out a few things. I'm not even gonna lie. Chun Li has to force out a lot of things from Archon before this rampage is gonna be a free one. But if Chun Li can force out all of those different abilities that they need to force out, namely the Ice Block, the Suzu, and the Hinder, they should be able to get a very nice rampage here, as well as Ice Wall, now that I think about it.
Yeah, speaking of which, Soft Jumper also does have this this EMP almost available, but that rampage did come through. The Death Blossoms there cleaning everything up after it, as Dosed&CO are looking to clean house. Another 100-0, but this time in favor of Dosed&CO. They've got this EMP available. They're gonna try to touch, but there's just no way they get there in the end, as Dosed&CO take round number 2.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that so many people got antied and hit by that Death Blossom. That was a really, really nice combo that was pulled off by Dost and company, though, to hurry up and finish that round off. And here we are. This is the Brawl map of Busan. So which Brawl comp is going to win out on the map that really does favor the Brawl? Is Chun-Li going to come out on the Reinhardt now? The oh-so classic Reinhardt. And it looks like we're going to be seeing an Ana from both teams as well.
Yeah, I just always like the Ramattra in the matchups between Reinhardt and Ramattra, just because of the Pummel's go-through shield. You can't really run away from a advancing Ramattra in their Nemesis form. But we will see. I think are going to use this anti-nade quite early on, and still not going to put them on the back foot. The hack is there, though, forcing back Equinox for the time being, and a lot of damage is coming in onto Archeon Esports. They're going to have to use that healing nade, but it's just not enough. The Soft Jumper does find that first pick, and now things are going to be a little bit rough for Arch. They don't have that extra bit of healing, with a swap coming now in from Sparkle J back to the Kiriko, as Mila on point going to take the point. Now they do come back here, as Archeon has found 2. Zaku finding those 2 picks now, forcing back Dosed&CO, forcing them away from the point, and then quickly getting it into their favor.
I have to ask why Dose didn't push forward when they got the kill onto the Ana, because that's most of the healing for Archon taken out, and if you just speed boost at that time, why would you not be able to just roll them over?
Well, let's figure out the nano boost has already come in from Chun-Li, and then the shatter in the face, but it doesn't find really anything. Void does find Mighty Camper, but it's still not enough. They find Equinox out, and now things go into the favor of Dose and company, as that should be, well, it is going to be them taking this point after they take Tough Duke out.
Yeah, it was it only cost them 2 ultimates, so not too bad. They're going to be left with a Death Blossom EMP and Sound Barrier, while Archon's going to have both of their support ultimates and potentially Ram ult and a May ult. So we want to see this EMP and Death Blossom come out pretty early here.
Yeah, The EMP is going to be massive, especially with that continuing rush being used, but they
Fire
might
blast.
not even need it. With the Death Blossom coming in from Void yet again, cleaning house as they invested the Kitsune rush. They still have ultimates though here, Void. Or not Void, Shadow, sorry.
I really want to know what Void is doing to just go unnoticed for so long with these Death Blossoms. That's 2 now, where I just don't know how they're getting these off. This makes a really nice EMP Shatter potential play.
Oh, what a shatter coming out indeed. The EMP does come through. They do find Equinox out, but that's the only person that didn't get shattered in the fray of things. They had to invest, though, that sound barrier to stay alive. They're going to have to buy more time, as it's still Archeon looking to come into things. It's not looking too good, but with nice Maywall coming in, they need to capture Chun-Li out, and the freeze does come through. Chun-Li's gone. The Blizzard invested, taking names for Archeon and forcing them back, forcing Dosed&CO back to the point as Archeon finally come back strong.
And it really wasn't that expensive for Archeon. They managed to hold on to their Annihilation, which you know they got to be really happy about because, and Dosed over here swapping back to the Junker Queen composition. So this Annihilation is just going to continuously go until Equinox is dead.
Well, the Annihilation does come out from Equinox. The Sleep Dart not able to connect, so they're still pushing for the coming death of the rest of the team. As, why that Deggy just goes off the side of the map just to not be a victim to Archeon.
Yeah. That was a smart reset, honestly. I mean, just dying later doesn't help you that much here. Like these staggers right here are really bad. I think it'll put them into overtime spawn territory, so nobody else can die for the side of Dosed, and they're going to be walking into a Kitsune rush with nothing to really deal with it. So this is going to be tough. This is going to be really tough. Soft Jumper and Void need to hurry up and get their ultimates to finish this level.
They really do. The Kitsune rush does come in here, and young Taggy is already caught out. They had that nano boost available. It's no longer there. Things should be wrapping up into the favor of Archeon now as everything clears up in their favor. Equinox cleaning the last kill as Archeon finishes things off.
And yeah, I mean, that it's just kind of tragic that Dosed were not able to get their nano boost off in that last fight at all. Maybe if they get the nano boost onto Void, Void's able to get that Death Blossom, make a nice play. But this was a really, really nice rampage. Really good play.
It really was, and I'm excited to see. Well, actually, no, because it's possible we see Brawl going into our next map, but the counterplay, Winston is just so much better on Eichenwald here. It's hard not to choose that going into Eichenwald, but there is still that opportunity to, if you want, play the Junker Queen, especially since it is somewhat of a counter to the Winston. I could it could be something in the cards for Dosed&CO at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, and we saw Dosed try to come out on the Winston comp there on Busan. They just weren't able to find their in, if you will, with the dive. And that is the hardest part of the dive comp. It's really just finding that initial just spot to dive in, especially on like a Kiriko Lucio. They're really hard to dive into. Kiriko, Lucio, May, Cassidy, like where are you going? Who's dying when you dive, especially with Cass now having 225 health again.
Yeah, things are definitely different with the new patch update.
Yeah.
I'm still very interested to see if we're going to be seeing more dive, or are we going to be seeing Winston? Are we going to be seeing Diva? I've seen both variations, but like we were talking about, Diva's just kind of a little bit better now with the booster's cooldown going down half a second.
Yeah.
So So it is really it'll be interesting.
Yeah, and like if and Winston's big thing, the reason you always play Winston over a diva is because his bubble can just block off healing primarily, right? That's the big thing. It's just blocking off angles, blocking off healing is way easier to do when you just drop a bubble somewhere than it is to like hard defense matrix in the direction of somebody.
Well, we do have the readies from the team, so then we will be heading in quite shortly here. But at the moment, we have time to talk, and let's continue to talk about the new patch notes here. I feel like there's not much that's really different. I mean,
There's nothing
Arisa
that's like
kind of
there's,
different.
there's nothing that's super crazy. A
Yeah.
lot of it is just like you can't stack armor with like damage reduction anymore. So for instance, you the Ramatra block would stack with
Mhm.
armor, right? And it would be like you're blocking 82% instead of whatever it is, 72% is what I think his block usually does. So stuff like that is a big quality of life change. And then something like Kiriko. Kiriko's regular body shot kunai got reduced by 5, but the multiplier got reduced as well. Or was it increased and then the body shot
The
multiplier got reduced?
damage increased 40 to 45, but damage multiplier reduced from 3 to 2.5.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one to me as well. Is that part of the reason that Kiriko's coming out now?
But here's the another interesting thing. We were talking about Lifeweaver kind of changed a little bit at the moment.
Mhm.
Base health reduced from 200 to 175, but they did get a base shield increased from
Yep.
0 to 50. Then the healing did increase by 25. Things are looking a little bit better for Lifeweaver, and then we're going to be seeing it on the attack for Archeon here as they're going to come in with the Ramatra already rotating around Equinox.
That's one of the things I've ever seen.
Is he good? I'm so confused. But Dosed is gonna take the win off of Equinox going Beyblade mode.
Looks like Equinox got dosed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought that was just a 360 for no reason, but apparently Equinox just disconnecting right there.
Yeah, that was definitely something. But we'll figure that out if we get back into the game quickly. But
Yeah.
we'll continue talking about, because we didn't really have anything. Okay, so we're actually about to go back in right now, funnily enough. So but Dosed is going to take that first fight because of the disconnect, probably a controller disconnect.
Yeah, and then seeing the Ana Kiriko from the side of Dosed, I imagine they want to use the nano boost on their Orisa, but just have the Kitsune rush for just because it's really good ultimate.
Well, young Teggy is on the Widowmaker here, swapping off the support line like I believe they were previously. So we shall see. Pretty Dosed did come in as well, but Zaku is going to be the one to find a pick early on, opening up things for Archeon here, forcing back Dosed&CO, and that should be the point, going into the favor of Archeon.
Yeah, that was a really good job just kind of taking space there by Equinox, just kind of existing in the face of Dosed. And we're going to see now that Chun-Li has this Terra Surge available. I'm always curious what people are going to do with the Orisa ult, because I never personally find much use out of it.
Yeah, it is. We were talking about the new hero and Terra Surge being working very well together. But obviously, Yelea is not in the game yet, so that's not really something we have to worry about. But Ultimates did come out here in the Nano Boost, like you were talking about earlier, going on to the Orisa of Chun-Li, and they're going to take Equinox out early on. And now Dosed&CO have this advantage. They might not even need to invest the Terra Surge here as Zaku goes down.
Yeah, because remember, Orisa's damage fall off did get increased by 5 meters, so you can shoot a little bit further away now, still get that full damage on Orisa. And also the Fortify health being a little bit more, I think it's almost doubled actually, so it's actually even harder to kill Orisa now, as if she wasn't hard enough to kill.
75 to 125 in Fortify, but now the rotation is out. Mighty Camper has the Blizzard available, and that's just everything they need to win this out. With Equinox taking down Void, and they might not even need the Blizzard in the long run. The Sound Barrier being invested, looking to clean up the rest of Dosed&CO as they're tindered down, taking some damage. As they're looking to just finish out young Teggy, so they can't really do things to them, but well, when you let a Widow get their shots, they're going to be able to do a lot of work. And now they're in the back line. Is young Teggy here looking to chunk down the supports. The Annihilation and the Blizzard comes through with the Terra Surge in response from Chun-Li. And it is just going to counteract the ultimates that have come out from Archeon. And now Dosed&CO are in the driver's seat with the advantage. They've got this nano boost, but Void goes off the side of the map with a nice boot from Tough Duke. As this should be, again, the advantage going into the favor of Archeon with that Kitsune Rush being invested, forcing them into that tight room. Chun-Li is just trying for a hero play, but that's just not possible, as Archeon are going to look to capture point 2.
That was a lot of ultimate investment from both teams, honestly. Tough Duke almost has another one of these sound barriers. They're just building these just left, right, and center. Void does have tire, though. If Void can get this tire off early, they might be able to get something before the sound barrier is available for Archeon.
Yeah, they do have, however, the Rip Tire coming in from Void here quite soon. Look to get into a position to use it here and now before they can really invest ultimates on the side of Archeon here. But there's the Rip Tire coming out. The Sound Barrier was invested, looking to buy time, looking for someone, but it's just going to be taken down by Zaku in the end. And well, young Teggy now goes down. They do turn it back. Equinox is gone thanks to Void, and that should be enough for the rest of Dosed&CO to come alive and hold on. Point number 3.
Yeah, I've honestly been wanting to see Chun-Li match this Ramantra just to see, what that's going to look like. The side of Archeon is going to have that Blizzard and Annihilation available. Pretty Dosed has to be incredibly good with their sound barrier here to attempt to counter these ultimates coming in.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm more worried about Mighty Camper's Blizzard here. That is a huge game changer coming in from Archeon here. That can change this fight all in their favor, or if they don't get anything, that could just ruin their entire momentum. But they've lost Equinox. They were not able to find anything, as Chun-Li was able to pop their Annihilation, now cleaning house for the rest of Archeon, as they have to they have to go back.
You could not have had a better sound barrier if you were Dosed. You managed to counter both the Blizzard and Annihilation with it. Tough Duke now is going to have their sound barrier as well. And if you're the side of Dosed, what can you do to try and force this sound barrier out early? Or is Tough Duke and Jay just going to try and combo their ults to run over the side of Dosed?
As now they do have ultimates to come through, and Tough Duke is going to take Pretty Dosed out. The sound barrier invested early on here to try to get things opened up back into the favor of Archeon as they look to get this out. The Bob does come in from young Teggy, but still nothing doing just yet. And they're almost up to this Blizzard from Mighty Camper yet again. That could be the deciding factor as Pretty Dosed goes down yet again. First in the fight, you cannot be losing your Lucio if you're Dosed&CO, as the Maywall comes through yet again, separating away Chun-Li. They're somehow still alive for the time being, with the Deadeye now coming through, forcing players back. The shot is there, soft jumper is down, and they had the Kitsune rush with the Maywall coming on point, cleaning the rest of the players from Dosed&CO away. They've got a couple people left. Soft jumpers down. They invested the Kitsune rush, but can they find any value off of it? Because they're walking into an annihilation from Equinox. But they go down, and the Death Blossom comes in from Void. They might be able to hold on. This is remarkable from Dosed&CO. As Void finds another one. Holding strong is Dosed&CO.
What a great recovery there from Toast. That was kind of crazy. That was kind of crazy. Void coming back in with another Death Blossom. I'm telling you, there's something about Void and this Reaper pick. I don't know how. This dude just seems to be invisible to the side of Archeon every time he has that ultimate. It is insane.
It really is. I just don't know how they continue to find this value. But they do, and Dosed is better for it, as they are able to hold on to point number 3. Now they rotate to, they switch sides, so the attacking phase coming in from Dosed&CO.
Yes, yes. The big thing I've noticed a lot of this game has been that Lucio battle between Tough Duke and Pretty Dosed. Their sound barriers have both been really incredible, but it seems like usually the one that has the better sound barrier, that seems to be the team that takes a lot of these fights.
Yeah, and well, interestingly enough, Pretty Dosed has been kind of on the end of these first picks in the fights recently. Now, they are going to be sticking on the Lucio for the time being, but that's got to change. You were saying, like, these sound barriers have been pretty impactful. You can't be dying first, though, if you want to be using that impact ultimate.
Yeah, most definitely. And it looks like Archeon's going to come out on a Torbjorn. Torbjorn got a few buffs as well to his primary fire, mostly, though.
As Void still sticking on this Reaper, and I want to say it's a signature hero, but I don't think it is. No, Sojourn, signature hero for Void here, but they might be putting their hat in the basket for the Reaper being their best or their signature hero here, as the rotation has come out from Dosed, already forcing Archeon back, but Zaku with a nice shot from the Peacekeeper. Shot jumper does go down. The rotation has to come through, as Dosed&CO are just running for spawn.
Yeah, Zaku's been really nice landing these shots and just getting these stray picks every so often. Equinox has a big time advantage on this Annihilation, though. I don't think Dosed is going to see this ultimate coming.
Yeah, definitely not, as Equinox almost built up to it, but again, Zaku is just landing these shots non-stop, as now the Annihilation has been built up, and it's going to be used in response to the Kitsune rush of Pretty Dosed. A lot of people are low from both of these sides. A soft jumper goes down, as Archeon continues to hold on, forcing Dosed back yet again to spawn.
Yeah, and that's honestly not a bad trade if you're the side of Archeon. You got the Kitsune Rush out, which is a big ultimate, but now you have to worry about that Sound Barrier Death Blossom potential combo coming in. Because as we know, Void suddenly becomes invisible during these fights, so I'm really curious to see if they can pull it off again.
Yeah, I'm interested in as well, but the Annihilation is going to be the go sign, and there's the Death Blossom in the back line. Mighty Camper's gone down, and the follow-up damage, thanks to the Annihilation, is there, as Dosed&CO come in with a team kill and take point 1.
Every single time. Void does it every single time with this Death Blossom. Look at where they were. They were just in the middle of their team. the team of Archeon right there. But coming into this next fight, Archeon's going to have the Molten Core and Deadeye available to them. They could potentially use the Molten Core to cut somebody off or something. I think we need to be watching Young Teki though to see if they can build up this EMP very quickly because it could be fight changing.
Well, Molten Core is going to be the go sign for Archeon Esports here to kite them off, focus off Chun-Li, as well as a Soft Jumper who is on this Lucio is just trying to, well, go back to their team. Are they going to stay alive? They do! Wow. It's pretty cool.
Just Lucio things, you know, nothing too crazy there.
Just Lucio
Equinox. Equinox about to have this annihilation available to them again. Is Dosed ready for it? That's the real question.
Oh, well, they have lost Chun-Li. The EMP is available, but they've already lost 2 from Dosed&CO. Do they invest this? No, they do not. Young Tegi still in the back, though, looking to get that EMP available. And Sparkle J going down. But, Young Tegi going quickly to a skill orb, so that EMP is off the board.
Yeah. Dosed&CO is going to get some of this cart pressure though. But like we said earlier, Equinox is going to have Annihilation, and Tough Duke is going to have a Coalescence to back them up when they try and enter this fight.
Deadeye is going to come in from Zaku, and Soft Jumper's gone. The speed boost's no longer there. No longer able to run away from the Annihilation and Coalescence combo, as Dosed&CO have to reset yet again.
You honestly probably could have held on to that Coalescence if you're the side of Archeon, just because Zaku was able to get such a nice kill onto the Lucio with that Deadeye. That being said, Young Teki still has this EMP.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
and Void staying alive is going to be huge in the end. Young Tegi, though, has the EMP available, but they're going to get caught out, and then they're just they're no-show in the fight now. They have to go away. The Translator is out, but thankfully, Dosed&CO is buying a lot of space currently for their team, so they can get Young Tegi back into the thick of things and use this EMP. They're still looking for an opportunity. They still have not been able to get into the back, and it's buying time for Archeon to build up ultimates of their own and take Void out. The EMP looking to come alive, and there it is. Comes out, does take down Tough Duke, but can they hold on? And with the Annihilation, they are going to be able to do so, as that is going to be Dosed&CO taking that fight.
Really nice play there. Actually from the side of Teki. They held that EMP for quite a while, but they ended up making really good use of it when they did use it.
As Sparkle J was buying some time, and there's the Molten Core on the point. The Tactical Visor is going to be find them in the end, but the Sound Barrier comes in from Soft Jumper trying to stabilize Dosed&CO with the Coalescence now there. That should clear the cart in the end. It is just Young Tough Duke left, and now with the Tracer coming back from Mighty Camper, but that's going to be just for a little bit as they have a new lease on life.
Yeah, that was a really nice play there to pull the Coalescence out just to make sure you really secure that point. And Archeon going to be swapping back over to the Mei comp. And going to have Equinox is going to have Annihilation available really early here. Young Teki swapping over to the Soldier, as well as Void going back onto this Reaper. What will Dosed&CO be able to do about this Annihilation?
That's the question on everyone's mind, but, well, the Tactical Visor, the Deadeye is going to be the first thing invested, and now there comes that Annihilation, followed up by the Coalescence, and it is just an interesting combo nonetheless, but it works to perfection, forcing back Dosed&CO down to 1:20, but it's not looking too hot right now for Archeon.
Dosed could turn this fight here. Chun-Li is going to have their ult available, but Sparkle J has this Kitsune Rush. They gotta take them out early like that.
Yeah, and they take out already. The Annihilation from Chun-Li doing wonders for Dosed&CO. 55 seconds to go. They don't have anything. They're gonna have some ultimates in the long run, though, Shadow.
Yeah, Void again with this Death Blossom. Void, as I keep saying, becomes very invisible once this ultimate comes online. So it's going to be a thing here. Here comes the Kitsune Rush.
Kitsune Rush, the Death Blossom, no, from Void finds a cup yet again. As they have to buy time, they have to wait for these ultimates to come through, but there's no one there from Archeon. In the end, Dosed take map number 2.
That was just really great ult usage from Dosed&CO to finish off that map. Like, just constant, beautiful ult cycling. This was the play, though, right here. This play that Chun-Li made. This was the play. To stop that Kitsune Rush from coming out so early, it allowed the rest of Dosed&CO to build up their ultimates to just easily win last fight right there.
Yeah, it's been some good stuff coming in from both of these teams so far. It is all tied 1-1 as we head into our break. Do not go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss the conclusion of this Week 1 matchup right after this.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you
Hello everyone, welcome back. It is time for map number 3, and if you're just joining us now, the map pool is Busan, Eichenwald, and what we see there, Archeon won map number 1 in a 1-2 fashion. Dosed came back with a 3-2 fashion. Now we're heading to Dorado to see, who breaks this stalemate. And right now, it is going sort of in the favor of Dosed&CO with these hero plays that we continuously see from their players. Void in particular is one that I have to mention.
Yeah, like I keep mentioning, like I'm obviously joking, but Void does seem to literally just get that Sombra invisibility ability every time they have Death Blossom, and just shows up in the back line and gets 3 kills with their Death Blossom every single time. Dorado, though, I'm really curious. Are we going to stick with these Ramattra compositions, or is this finally where we're going to see some of those dive comps on a map that is traditionally more dive heavy?
I mean, you could see Brawl, but it's just, like you said, this is a dive map. If we don't see dive, I don't really know what we would see. I mean, there is always that chance that you could play, okay, well, so we're gonna just continue with the dive compositions here from Shadow, and for some reason.
So this is the adaptation here, right? Because I guess Equinox really just wants to play this Ramattra, right? So what Archeon is doing is they're getting the Lifeweaver to then allow the Ramattra to be as mobile as, say, a Winston would typically be.
Yeah, it is just definitely interesting, and I think it is just these teams trying to figure out who is the best. And again, this is still console, so we have been seeing a lot of that Winston in the PC scene. So, in my experience, there is sometimes that disparity between compositions between the two platforms, but it's usually not this big. But Archeon is going to come in here already, as they have a new substitute. Very Ghost has come in and, well, is shooting very clean so far, just landing these shots currently, and making Dosed&CO stay in that small little room, getting healed back up for the time being. But right now, it is Archeon all in this kill feed.
Yeah, Zaku and Very Ghost just kind of pelting the side of Dosed&CO from this high ground. How is Dosed&CO going to cross any of this space? You see young Teggy going on to the Widowmaker, and that is their attempt at trying to just do something about what's happening right now.
Yeah, Teggy looking for anyone really here to try to open things up into the favor of Dosed&CO. Octane also has come in here for Dosed&CO, coming in for Chun-Li. Octane going in onto the Reinhardt for Dosed. See how that works for them. Again, still an interesting choice for tank on this map, but we'll see if it bites them in the end. But right now it is Archeon just continuously finding these picks, forcing everyone back. Octane trying to force the objective, force this point back, but they're just met with Equinox. The healing is there, but the tactical visor now coming in from Very Ghost, cleaning house on point, rotating and trying to stay alive is Dosed&CO, but a lot of people are so low. Teggy is able to find a shot though, finding an opportunity, now looking to build up to these sites to figure out the opening that they need to engage upon.
Yeah, Dosed&CO has to do something about Very Ghost. Very Ghost is doing such a good job, and here comes that Tree of Life for the first time.
That Tree of Life coming out. The Shatter does come in response. The healing, though, is there from the ultimate of Lifeweaver. They do lose Tough Duke, but in the end, it does not matter as Archeon continuously to find these picks. But Young Teggy's in the back, and they found two. And now the Riz onto Octane is just going to open things up for Dosed&CO. And now forcing back Archeon. That little mistake does come in, but currently, the payload is at a stalemate. They're not pushing it. And this nice play that came in from Young Teggy might go uncapitalized upon with the ultimate now coming in. The blade is there from Void trying to take out players, but the Bob is going to be the one to take them out in the end as Archeon are able to come back strong and are able to hold on when everything seemed bleak.
Yeah, that's a big time mistake to not be pushing the payload right there. I think point gets captured by Dosed&CO if they have at least one player on point that entire time.
I have to agree.
Yeah, but coming into this next fight now, there's going to be a Valkyrie for the side of Dosed&CO, which could be nice, trying to help the players build up to their ultimates. The only thing Archeon is really, really close to is that rally. Potentially, if a few punches come out, Equinox could pop out this Annihilation.
Yeah, as they've got the Valkyrie online from Mila here, but they've got to find some picks as Archeon has a lot of ultimates in their back pocket with the Tree of Life now coming out. The Annihilation is there, but Equinox is so low, they have to go defensive. They can't really find value with it as the Shatter comes through, but again, no follow-up from Dosed&CO. They've got to find something now. Young Teggy coming alive yet again on the Widowmaker. The Deadeye comes through, but it's not going to find anything, but the back foot is... Archeon is on the back foot now, losing Tough Duke, and the ultimates they had are just not gonna be enough as Archeon is gonna go down and Dosed&CO have a new lease on life.
Yeah, that was a really solid fight win from the side of Dosed&CO. Teggy just getting like these 1 or 2 picks on this Widowmaker, really making a nice difference on this hero on a map where Widow has historically been really good, so it's it's nice to see. And Soft Jumper needs to make really good use of this Kitsune rush. You want to get Very Ghost out of this fight before they get this tactical visor off on this high ground.
Yeah, they've got to take away this the advantage for Very Ghost as Young Teggy didn't invest the sights to try to do so, try to get that advantage, that positional advantage, but again, not working in their favor currently. But still, Dosed&CO are able to continue pushing this cart without really any contest from Archeon at the moment, but they're going to have this tactical visor, and that's going to be invested early on from Very Ghost, and Soft Jumper goes down. That should be enough to stabilize for Archeon on the defense as long as they don't lose anyone as Equinox goes down to the Shatter. They have to invest more for Archeon to try to stabilize, but they don't have enough. And well, Young Teggy is taking these sight lines and looking to take Zaku out with the help of that Mercy Pocket as Dosed&CO continue to push the cart.
That was a big-time shatter from Octane. Equinox had Annihilation available there, so taking him out early... Oh, here comes the Annihilation, potentially.
Yeah, they've got to do something. Equinox cannot go down here. The Kitsune rush goes in. The Annihilation is there. Very Ghost comes back from spawn and takes down Young Teggy. They've got to keep Equinox alive, though. And that Tree of Life comes in at the perfect moment. The Annihilation takes down Octane. 25 seconds to go. Can they hold on here?
Oh, it's going to be really tough for Dosed&CO to do something here. Unless Void is able to have another one of those crazy ultimates that we've seen Void have so far in this series. I think this is going to be a second point hold for the side of Archeon.
Void has this pulse bomb like you were talking about and looking for the stick, looking for someone here. The Deadeye comes out from Void there, come in early on, but still nothing doing just yet. They do life grip away to stay alive. The shatter comes out, but it only connects onto Equinox, but Equinox is down. That is not what you needed. Tough Duke trying to build up to that Valkyrie, but they're taken down, but oh no.
That was Sir Charles the Ninth paying us a visit there. I gotta shout out the Life Weaver player for the side of Archeon. They were so they were so just mobile there. They were distracting Teki for a lot of that fight on that Tracer, and just Teki could not finish off the Life Weaver player, Sparkle J.
Oh no. They were gonna win that too. They had everything in the bag to win that fight, but unfortunately, when it's overtime and you step off the cart, that happens.
Yeah. So the thing that Dosed was doing, or I'm sorry, the thing that Archeon was doing really well there was just placing their hit scan on the high grounds and just having them just free fire onto the cart that entire time, making it really, really hard for Dosed to try and walk forward there.
Yeah, man, that's just unfortunate for Dosed. So I was looking at copy pastas for about C9ing, and I found this is not a C9. They purposely left the point. They wouldn't be, knowing they wouldn't be able to win the fight. They simply left to save their strength for the next round, as expected from a top-tier team.
Truly.
Truly, surely. That's definitely not copium. But right now, Archeon is on the attack, and well, their attack not going too well to start off, but that is, there's still 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. But still, Dosed&CO are finding the picks to really start this hold on the defense well.
And yeah, you can see the Dosed&CO is taking a page out of Archeon's book and running this Soldier Ash and Life Weaver combination. It worked so well for Archeon, you know, may as well see what's up with this comp.
Oh my goodness! Again, this Mercy Pocket coming in from Mila is just doing wonders for Void on the Soldier 76 right now, and looks like Duke is gonna have to call them with it to try to gain an advantage in some way, somehow, just to try to keep things going. As interestingly enough, we have a full mirror matchup right now here, Shadow.
Yeah, I can't say I was expecting to see a Life Weaver mirror today, but, you know, I've seen crazier things.
Yeah, I as well, but the crazier things is just Dosed&CO is just continuing to find these picks. In the meanwhile, they Archeon did find some good cart progress. They did get it to the archway there, which is a nice place for fights, but it's also a nice place for Dosed to get their hold.
And yeah, this is really just a battle of the hit scan. It seems like everyone else is just kind of here to watch. It's just which two hit scan are going to dominate harder. That really seems to be determining the outcome of these fights.
Yeah, now they come in yet again. Sparkle J is gone, continually finding these first picks in the fight is Dosed&CO, and that's why they are at this advantage currently. As that is again ultimates being invested from Archeon and not finding anything to really write home about.
That being said, though, Dosed&CO did invest both the Tactical Visor and the Bob. That could come back to bite them, but Octane does have Annihilation available to sort of prolong this along with Tree Life.
Yeah, now they do come into this fight. Like you said, that Tree of Life is available. Octane has the Annihilation, which is going to be invested now, but they've lost Void. They do pay for it, and with 2 in response from the Annihilation, as Dosed&CO have brought things down to 60 seconds.
That was a really great annihilation there from Octane, just really running down the side of Archeon. And with Archeon coming out now, Very Ghost has this tactical visor available, but Dosed&CO still has not used this Tree of Life, and it could be really huge in preventing this tactical visor from getting any sort of value.
Well, the Tac visor from Very Ghost has to be. Oh, well, they've just lost Equinox, so I think that's just pretty much it for this fight, and might be that for the round unless something changes from Archeon. But they lose Tough Duke. The tactical visor does come through, but they've lost their life immediately. Does Very Ghost, and 10 seconds to go as Archeon look to do anything to try to open it up, but they're still walking into so many ultimates. The Annihilation is coming in. The Tree of Life is there. Can Archeon find any picks? But it's just not possible. Tactical visor from Void cleaning house on the point. The res is going to try to come through, but Tough Duke does get found out. Dosed&CO take map number 3.
It was looking really rough for Dosed&CO at the first part of their attack, but they just sort of literally took Archeon's comp and said, hey, we'll play this a little bit better than you did. So, and this is going to be young Teggy making his best Jimmy impression that he possibly can, and just going for the flank shots here on this Widowmaker. Jimmy would be proud.
Yeah, this is, like we continue to say, Dosed has just been the team that has been a little bit clutcher in these moments that are needed for the clutch factor, and that's showing so far through this series with Dosed&CO being up 2-1 in the series as we head into our map number 4, which is going to be Esperanza.
One thing I would like to add as well for the side of Dosed&CO that's really been a big positive for them, in my opinion, is they don't tend to overinvest their ults. I've never seen them use more than 2 ultimates in a fight. Even when they did use both of their DPS ultimates, they still had the Annihilation, the Tree of Life available to them, and the Tree of Life came in clutch there at the end, saving their tank in that final fight, which then allowed Void to get their tactical visor and finish off the rest of the kills.
Yeah, they've been just doing such good things with their ultimates, like you were saying. We're trying to figure something out with Overwatch, because for some reason it's requiring our observer to update the game. You can't start Overwatch without updating the game, so
that is true.
I'm genuinely so confused right now. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, that is definitely a first one for me as well. I've never been playing the game and the game told me I needed to update.
Well,
I've been on Twitch and it told me I needed to update, but never the game.
Well, we are gonna head to a break to figure out what's going on with the game of Overwatch right now. We will be back with map number 4 whenever we figure this out. that break was not too long. Figured it out quite quickly, as now we are about to head into our next map, which, again, if you are just joining us, it is Esperanza for our push game mode. We will not be seeing the new Flashpoint game mode, which I guess is having some mixed reactions at the moment. So it might be a good thing that it's currently not in our map rotations.
And yeah, one thing I'm really curious about here: are we just gonna keep seeing Ramatra every single game? Is that all we're playing? That might just be all we're playing.
Again, we're going to maps that have been traditionally that have been traditionally Winston dominated, and we're seeing Ramatra continuously be Uran. I mean, that was really what the tanks were being interchanged for, was Ramatra and Winston, but seeing Winston not be played, even though it really didn't really get a nerf at all, it's just like kind of a net nothing. So it is just kind of weird.
Well, to be fair, Winston never gets played because of Winston. Winston always gets played because of every other hero in the comp besides Winston.
Mm-hmm.
So if teams are just feeling better about the heroes that aren't really more Winston-centric or dive-centric sort of heroes, that could be what's leading them in this direction. Because again, like I said, we've been seeing quite a bit of that Cass. I imagine that Cass is just because of the 225 HP.
Yeah, so with Cassidy having that, it's just kind of making Cassidy back to meta yet again. And with the ultimate cost of Sombra going back up by 15%, that is kind of a nerf to those Winston compositions. But we shall see on Esperanza with the high ground, which kind of is necessary for these teams if they intend to run Ramatra, or are we going to see something different?
We might just see the Life Weaver again, honestly. The unironic Life Weaver has entered the chat. It's very possible.
And I mean, it's working well for both of these two teams. I haven't really been paying attention to the healing output, but the Tree of Life has been working well for both of these two teams. It's just more or less, can they find better value with the other key ultimates, or key abilities like the rejuvenating dash. They did get that extra health. Other than that, it's just there wasn't really a change. The Thorn Valley reduced the spread. But it's not, the healing didn't really get updated that much.
A Tree of Life overhealth is pretty nice, and if you just want to escort a Ramatra around the map all game, I can see how that would be pretty useful.
Well, right now we're seeing Ideal Object come in from Archeon Esports here, with Mighty Camper coming back in for them as well, running traditional Brawl without the Baptiste, which we'll see how that works for them there. But the Maywall does come through from Mighty Camper, forcing back Dosed&CO, and Octane's going to go down early on. That's a huge step for Archeon. They need to be able to control these fights, and they are doing so. Now the swap's coming in from Dosed&CO.
Yeah, and Archeon, you're going to notice they're just running the Ooga Booga, let's run at the enemy team composition. Will Dosed&CO go to match it? No, not quite. Zaku getting that late stagger onto Shiv, which is really, really good kill. That might honestly earn them checkpoint.
Yeah. And it ain't okay. So that might do that, and I'm like looking at this Pharah, and I'm like, why is Pharah being played? This isn't really, I would say, a Pharah map. Do you have any more thoughts on that, Shadow?
I think they're just seeing a May Reinhardt composition, and they're like, yeah, we can just shoot rockets at that comp over and over again, and it dies, right?
Well, it's not seeming to work. Well, no. I love to cast or curse the event as it's happening, as Void, well, is just shooting at the enemy team, and it's just working in their favor. But they do still have to win this next fight with those forward spawns being activated.
I do want to point out, I think what's about to happen right now is I'm going to predict a nano barrage coming in from the side of Dosed&CO. The question is, can they get it off before Tough Duke uses the sound barrier? Oh, that's big.
Well, yeah, they just use it before anything happens. They do take down Sheev, who has come in for Dosed&CO as well. But that is huge. That's just going to win them that fight and buy them more space. But they still have a little ways to go, over 30 meters to go.
Yeah, they'll get fairly close. I'm going to say they're going to get to about 40 meters or so before Archeon re-engages the fight. But Soft Jumper has Nano Boost to give to Octane here.
Yeah, well, there's the Shatter coming out. The Sound Barrier comes in response, and in as well, the Sound Barrier is there. The Nano Boost coming in onto Octane. The Deadeye comes through. That should be, in the end, Archeon finding it out with that pick onto Soft Jumper. The Blizzard being invested as well, but they're still not finding enough. Young Teggy has this EMP if they want to invest it, and they can definitely change the tide of this fight if they do it, as Octane comes back from the grave and takes Tough Duke out, as still the EMP is available, but they might not need it in the end here, Shadow, as Void is just going to take no prisoners with the help of Octane.
That was a fantastic res by Shiv, and that's the primary reason Void was able to just kind of run free across the sky. It's hard to really pay attention to someone in the sky when you have a Reinhardt in your face. What we're going to be looking for here is, like you said, that EMP. The EMP is available. Ideal Object does have Shatter, but if Octane, no.
Yeah, Young Teggy in the back line, just harassing the support line, but still waiting to get into that position. Translocator is out with the way to get away from, well, anything. But Octane is so low, they're gonna get that healing nade. But now Young Teggy is going around on a mission looking for the EMP as the barrage comes through, but does not find anything. They still have yet to use the EMP, and they translocate away. The Shatter does come through, as that is going to be Archeon holding strong as Young Teggy continues just to hold this EMP.
That was a that was a big time recovery there. Sparkle J paying attention very closely to Void to make sure they can't get that barrage off. That's why you almost have to nano boost the barrage in order for the Pharah to not die. Like, it's just too easy to hit that Pharah. And I like what Archeon is doing here. Just not, you don't have to push this cart forward. You can sit back and reset. Are we going to see the EMP finally?
Well, Young Teggy is in a very good position for it, and the EMP does come, or the Shatter does come through. Now the EMP comes out and trying to take out the, well, they take out the support line, and that's huge. But that was big, but what was also big was the number of ultimates used from Dosed&CO there.
Yeah, they did burn 3 ultimates right there. But
they are going to get this.
On the other side, they are going to get this checkpoint, which is really good. No, they're going to take the lead, actually.
Yeah.
So totally worth it. Totally worth it. Tough Duke is going to have Sound Barrier. Do they use it aggressively to just try and push in? I think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to try and beat aggressively and then toss Blizzard at the side of Dosed.
Yeah, so they're going to beat aggressively. I'm still looking for this Blizzard, though. They're going to have to buy time, though. Another huge anti-nade does come in from Soft Jumper. We got to see when Mighty Camper can get into a position to use this the ultimate. But at the moment, they've already found 2 just off the back of Zaku's aim. So they don't need to invest it, as they are just going to have that Blizzard available for this next fight.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a late Valkyrie from the side of Shiv. Like, if you were going to use the Valkyrie, you probably should have used it before you lost a player. But with that being said, Mighty Camper did manage to hold on to this Blizzard like we talked about. So this should be a relatively free fight win for Archeon.
Yeah, it should be indeed, as Mighty Camper's still gonna, okay, there's the Blizzard. I was about to say, still looking for a chance to use said Blizzard, but they used said Blizzard while I was talking. But yes, the moment they are getting Sombra 9'd, as the Archeon now get back and are taking it away. 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, and with this forward spawn being available, the Archeon is going to have to win another fight. So they're going to have to be big time with this Shatter. That being said, Void's going to have Overclock available, and Octane almost has Shatter too. Will Octane be able to block Shatter? That's going to be the big key here.
Well, the Shatter has come in and is blocked out from Ideal Object, and the Shatter in response only connects to Shiv, but they do find the pick. But while they're doing so, they lose Ideal Object. The EMP comes through and the Overclock just does all the work they need, as it is down to 2 minutes and 15 seconds on the board.
And that did feel like a heavy investment from the side of Dosed, but I like that Young Teggy was willing to use that EMP there just to totally make sure they don't lose the lead. Because losing the lead here at this 2 minute mark would have been tough. Sparkle J is going to come in with Coalescence though. Will that be able to counter what's going to happen with this Nano Boost?
Well, they've got to figure it out with the Nano Boost coming in. The hack, though, onto Zako. Soundbarrier comes in response, but they've already lost Mighty Camper. They need to keep that May alive. They need those Blizzards so desperately with so little time remaining, and losing Zaku now is just disastrous. They still have players on the point. They need to find more. An Ideal Object continuing to just swing this hammer as fast as they can, working wonders. Now they've got this positioning. They might be able to overtake the lead here.
Yeah, I think they definitely will be able to. With those 2 late kills on the Soft Jumper and Young Teggy, they're not going to make it back in time to contest this point. But if Void just does that, you know, maybe that changes things up.
Yeah, and now this would be a perfect opportunity to use that Blizzard, but they died so early. They don't have it in this fight, as they are so close, 2 meters away from overtaking Dosed&CO. But that's just not, you know, that's in the rear view mirror. Dosed&CO have it back in their pocket. 45 seconds to go.
And here we go. We're going to have basically dueling Shatters, Overclock, EMP, Valkyrie, Blizzard. There's a lot of ults coming out here. I think Dosed&CO is gonna have a hard time losing this fight though.
They definitely, it's just looking almost astronomical odds in the favor of Dosed&CO, with the Shatter connecting, taking down everyone they need. 20 seconds to go, and still EMP, Nano Boost in the late fight, and Valkyrie online.
Yes, but Archeon does have that Blizzard, Deadeye, and Shatter available to them. As long as nobody dies like that.
It's over. It's over. 1 second to go, unless there's some miraculous play, but Young Teggy with the EMP. The Blizzard comes through, the Deadeye is there, but they need to stay on the point. Can they find more? No, they cannot. The overtime bar ticking away. That is that. Dosed&CO take the week 1 matchup in the favor in a 3-1 fashion.
Really strong play there from the side of Dosed&CO. Like every single time something looked like it was going to go the way of Archeon, this guy right here, Void, would just come through with some sort of crazy play. I still remember you. What's Afara going to do? Well, Afara's going to do this. That's what Afara's going to do.
See, that's what happens when I talk, Shadow. It is, unfortunately, being a caster. Oh, goodness. Sorry about that. I had to fix that. That was gross. But yeah, that is the unfortunate nature of being a caster. Ever since I had taken up the microphone, I just caster cursed everything. But in the end, Dosed&CO, with some after some heroic plays from Void, are able to take their week 1 matchup and start the CGL season on a good foot.
Yeah, there were just constant hero plays from literally everyone on Dosed&CO, but I have to say Void was definitely sticking out with those various hero plays they were making, like you said.
Yeah, definitely. And just the Death Blossoms on Eichenwald, the forest switch that was should not have worked. It really shouldn't have. That Esperanza is just not a map where you see Pharah played at all. But it worked for them, and that's really all that matters. And in the end, Dosed&CO come out on top 3-1 as they, like I said, they start. They're undefeated in the season 12 of CGL, so that's a perfect way to start things off. But other than that, Shadow, we don't really have much more to say. At least I don't. I don't know if you do.
No. Really good match from both teams. Looking forward to see what they do for the rest of the season.
All right, everyone, thank you all for watching. And remember, wherever you may be in the world, have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out. Have a good night.
Good night.